Hello, welcome to Let Me Bore You to Sleep. My name is Jason Newland, and please only listen when you can safely close your eyes. It's very hot, and I've got the window closed because of the doggy in the garden. So yeah, it's even hotter having the window closed. Shouldn't really need to have the window closed on, one of the hottest days of the year, but there you go. I'm not moaning though. Yeah, a little bit moany, a little bit. Today is Saturday the 14th of August 2026. 12 days till my birthday. 56! No way. 56. And I've decided I'm going to move to Thailand. Not now, obviously. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I don't know how I'm going to get the money together. The whole process, I don't know, but yeah. Or at least spend half the year there. Yeah, so maybe not live there, but spend half the year. That's what I'm thinking. Or at least go on holiday once a year. Just, yeah. Oh, ice cream van. I'm pretty sure when I was young, the ice cream van used to be quite clear. Like that, really quiet. Now it just sounds like metal scratched and scraping together. Like one of those old Victorian turny organs, that makes a sound, but it's very crunchy and like it's almost like you're making music and putting clothes through a mangle at the same time. It's just, yeah. I'm sure it used to be quite a nice sound. I just don't think they put the effort in. That's what it is. They could just play a tune, couldn't they? Could just play a tune into a microphone or into a system and just play it. Come and get your ice cream. Or what they could do is just have, they might get copyrighted for it, but just have Eddie Murphy from Delirious, the concert that he did, the ice cream song. That would be good. Probably wouldn't be allowed, but who's going to say anything? You think people in my town, like in my little village, you can like, hey Eddie, Eddie, half. Sorry, I'm just doing a bit for the movie. They're not really phoning him up saying, yeah, there's an ice cream van using that little bit from your concert from 1984 or 85 or whenever it was. 86 maybe. But saying that, I do know it's an ice cream van, don't I? So I suppose it does do its job. Technically, the communication is there. It's hot in here. And the reason I closed the window is because just before I started this recording, it was very loud out there. And the ironic thing is it was loud out there for about 2 hours plus, with humans shout talking to each other. There must have been like 1, 2, 3, 4 adults and 2 kids and a dog. Didn't hear the dog. Dog didn't bark once the whole time. As soon as I left, the dog started barking. It's like the dog just didn't bother because he knew he wouldn't be heard. You know, he didn't feel like he had his own voice until they all left. And he could feel himself again, be himself again. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe he can't be the real person he is when he's surrounded by people shout talking. I don't know. It's still hot in here. I'm just going to keep moaning about the heat. Wow, I've got this t-shirt on. Trust me, you don't want to see it. It's basically ripped right open at the front, and I've cut the sleeves off. Because you know what? I have 2 t-shirts, one black, one grey, both with no sleeves, you know? Like purposefully with no sleeves. Yeah, I can't find them. The one time in the year that I want to wear them, can't find them. I don't know where they are. Which is weird considering they can't be anywhere. There's nowhere they could be unless they're at the bottom of that. I've got a container over there which is full of empty water bowls and a few other bits and bobs, but also underneath that it's stuff that isn't rubbish. So maybe, because what I did I think when the asbestos person came round to check for asbestos, I tried to tidy the place up, and I cleared everything off the desk and just chucked it into that container. It's like a storage container. It's not little, but it's not big, but it's not little, you know. It's kind of a fair size. I mean, when it's full of water, it's too heavy to carry. Or maybe I should just say it's too heavy for me to carry. But it's, you know, so it's a fair size. And you might think, oh, how do you know? Why would you fill it with water? Well, let me tell you. I got rid of all my exercise equipment about 3 or 4 months ago. And I put them outside the front, just like help yourself, take them for free. And they went very quickly. So I had an exercise bike, I had a weightlifting bench, I had a punch bag which stood up, you know, with a base which you filled with water. I had another punch bag, but it was just like a ball rather than a punch bag, with another base which you could fill with water or sand. I had water in them. I'm trying to think what else I had that I put out there. Abdominal board as well, so I put that out there. I think that's it. I don't think there was anything else. Oh no, a couple of like a bendy bar thing that you can use. I mean, they're easy to do because I'm so strong, but another like a chest expander kind of thing. So I put them out there. So I basically got rid of all the stuff. And I didn't know how I was going to get the water out of the base for, well, either of them actually, but especially the bigger one, the punch bag, because it was a stand-up punch bag, not one that you hung from the ceiling or from the wall, because that's a type I used to have. And I was trying to figure, because I knew that I could lift it, or I could roll it anyway, to the bathroom. And I knew that I could probably lift it and move it into the bath and then empty it there. But the problem is, I didn't know if part of my body would explode if I tried. First of all, it was my back was not going to be thanking me for it. And it wasn't that important, you know. It wasn't important enough for me to risk injury. 20 years ago, I'd have just picked it up and regretted it afterwards with a ripped muscle or something. But I thought, no, I don't want to do that. So I ended up managing to pour some of it, bit by bit, into one of those containers. So I got 3, I think. And yeah, bit by bit I was able to do it. And then it was light enough for me just to pick up and empty it. So I think I got about 3/4 of it out, the water, before I could lift it, like easily, comfortably, with a big smile on my face. And at one point I had quite a bit of water inside that container, so I was left with the same issue. So now I've got a container full of water that I need to empty. How am I going to do that without hurting myself? But I did. I managed to do it. It was a case of it was a balancing thing, you know. First sort of get it on my knees and then just balance it on the side of the bath, and then, yeah, once I push it over, the rest was easy. But the reason I got rid of, you're probably wondering, why did you get rid of all your exercise stuff? Well, I can't go into details, but there was a thing happened. A thing happened, and my internal reaction was I went into destroy mode. Can you hear the dog barking? I can't work around the dog barking. I can't. If I waited for it to not be barking, I'd literally have to wait till 3 o'clock in the morning to make a recording. So, and I can't do that. I mean, it doesn't, you know, there's nothing I can do about it. Not legally. So, just have to just sit with it and hope for the best, you know. To be fair, I don't even know it's the dog. It might be another dog. That one sounds quite far in the distance. I think there might be 2 dogs. It's quite funny because when Vinny barks, and he does, if someone knocks on the door, Vinny screams with excitement. Oh, it is a dog. The owner's now shouting. Can you hear that? What she started doing lately, which I find a bit unusual, is, so I was in the garden the other day talking to a couple of neighbours. Vinny was getting overexcited. We were talking and the dog was going nutty, the other dog, because technically I think the unwritten law is they're the only ones that are allowed to go in the garden. We're not allowed to be in our side of the garden. But she closed the door and left the dog out there because she was getting fed up hearing the dog barking. And I've seen that a couple of times. It's like, take the dog inside. But close the door. Perhaps I should start doing that with Vinny, put him in the garden and just come back upstairs. The council would be knocking on my door within about 5 minutes. That's an exaggeration, but if it was in the garden barking all day, the council would be knocking on my door every single day, because all the neighbours would complain, because he would be barking at the cats, he'd be barking at the birds, maybe he'd be barking when he saw someone coming out of the building, because he's excited, just like the other dog over the fence. It's a lovely little dog, but he can't be left in the garden all day. You do that with any dog, not any dog, but if it's a barky dog, it's just going to be barking all the time. And Vinny, although Vinny wouldn't bark as much, as often, Vinny's louder, way louder. He screams honestly, it's so high pitched. So between the two of them, that would be, wow. I imagine the police would get called. Like, people would complain, so call the police, we need the dogs taken away. He is cute when he's sleeping though. He's got his little paw, like his left paw, bent over and pushed against the what's it? Against the metal stand of the desk. I'm so lucky that he does not react to the other dog. Otherwise, it would be all day. Literally all day. They'd be going back and forth the whole time. Unless she's closed the door. Now the dog's saying, let me in, let me in. Oh no. When he first moved in, because he's got a name that's quite similar to Vinny, Vinny used to think he was being called and he would bark. But now he's used to it. Also, when I say Vinny, he ignores me anyway, so he doesn't take much notice of people's... Oh, wow. Sometimes for hours and hours. I think that's another part of the reason why I want to kind of move to Thailand. Because I don't know how long I can put up with this, to be honest. I think it's a little bit... Catch me on the wrong day and it's not good. I'd rather avoid that. So yeah. The thing is, he ignores me, Vinny ignores me generally, but he would never bark for that long. When I tell him to stop, it might take a few seconds, but he stops. And I have him in one room because I know if I let him just wander the flat, go into the bedroom where he wants to be, he loves sleeping on the bed, or sitting in the hallway, he will bark at every single thing that happens in the building. And because I know that, I have to prevent it. That's the burden of being considerate. I wish I wasn't considerate. I wish I could go back to being 16 again, where I didn't, or 15, where I didn't really have much in the way of consideration. Or even early 20s, really. But now, having lived in so many different places and seeing the the various different things that can occur when people are not considerate, it's kind of trained me to be considerate, even when I'm around people that aren't. It's just a really important thing, and I know people, I've known people that really thought there was something wrong with me because their attitude was stuff the other people. It doesn't matter, I'll do what I want, who cares? And I kind of would like to have that attitude, not to be inconsiderate to people, but to not care, because they're more relaxed. They're just like that. Still going. So yeah, I'm sorry if the having a dog in the background is problematic, but it's not all the time. It's part of the reason I can't make hypnosis recordings at the moment, because the dog's just got worse. Every now and then she just says its name and that's it. That is not enough. Like me saying to Vin, "Oh, Vinny, it's enough of that. Come on." He ain't gonna listen. I have to be quite stern, quite forbidding. Forbidden, is that a word? Quite formidable, very strong and masculine. He knows. You gotta let dogs bark sometimes. I'm not that dumb to think that, you know, dogs should be quiet all the time, because that's not realistic. It's like telling me never to fart. But there's a limit, isn't there? There's kind of, everyone that has a dog is gonna bark. If you know, not all the time, not like continuously on and off from 6:30 in the morning till like maybe 9 at night. It's always quiet now. Maybe he's gone inside. Sometimes there's quiet periods that last for like an hour. Sometimes it's rare, but sometimes there is. And I get used to it, and I enjoy the peace. And then, rah, 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 rah. I think it was last week or the week before that I think they went away for a couple of days, and I kind of like thought, oh, maybe the little dog's been rehomed somewhere more suitable, somewhere further away. Maybe in a soundproof house. But just somewhere, you know, with a family, just somewhere that he can enjoy himself instead of being in a little garden. Probably bored. He's probably as bored as Vinny is. Vinny gets bored just being up here with me. I know he does. But maybe not. Maybe because of the fact he's barking, maybe he's not bored. Maybe he's enjoying every moment of it. Who knows? What do I know about dogs and what they're thinking? I don't even know what I'm thinking. Yeah, I do. I'm wondering why the soundproofing be on the wall behind the television, below the television, is actually uneven. There's two strips of soundproofing and one's higher than the other. That's what I'm thinking. Not really relevant to the conversation, but that is. Another thing I'm thinking is, I can't seem to find the cause or the reason for my left lazy eye, because I went on YouTube and put in lazy eye and it only came up with the lazy eye, you know, pointing in a different direction. And then looked into dyslexia, you know, wondering whether or not I can have dyslexia in one eye. And it said, well, the dyslexia, and it showed, I saw two videos showing what it would be like to experience dyslexia. One was just basically where the the letters was moving, like shaking, or becoming blurry and not blurry, sharp, and things like that. Like 7 different versions of the same thing, you know. And then I saw, but nothing like what I experienced with my left eye. And then the next video, it said, this is how someone would see, with dyslexia, might see a page of writing. And it was all gobbledygook. There wasn't, none of the words were real words. Again, not what I experienced with my left eye. I thought dyslexia, again, this shows my limited or maybe practically no understanding of dyslexia. I thought the letters on the page moved around, and I mean, sometimes it can spin and stuff, you know, according to this video I watched, but I guess it's not just one thing. But I didn't find anything that explained my left eye, where the letters were basically connecting with each other. They're moving into each other, and the words were joining in with the next word. Nothing that explained that. And apparently with a lazy eye or any kind of stuff with the eye, it's not the eye that's the problem, it's the brain. The brain processing. So there's nothing wrong with the eye. It's to do with the optical brain part that controls the eye. According to YouTube. According, I just said, instead of according, I said according. Blimey. It's probably best, I suppose, thinking about it, if I make a mistake verbally and say a word wrongly, pronounce a word wrongly, perhaps I just should move on and not mention it and not focus a light on it, and perhaps people wouldn't notice it. But I notice it. For some reason I feel the need to mention it. Yeah, I've done that all my life really. I've corrected what I'm saying as I'm going along. But I think a lot of that is just communication, isn't it? I want to come across clearly, if at all possible, because I've had a lot of miscommunication over the years. There was a time when I used to believe what people said. I used to take things literally. I remember once, because this was a very vague sentence that someone said to me. So we were all leaving school, and I was friends with, it was weird, I was friends with the really intelligent kids, the ones who were in the high classes, and I was just as friendly with the ones in the bottom classes. See, if I put my head out the window and start shouting, that is going to cause a lot of problems for me. So I can't do it. In the past, you might find this hard to believe, in the past, but you go back 30 years, wow. Oh, it would be a different situation. But I'm much calmer, and I try and think before I do. Even 20 years ago, 10 years ago even, I feel that, I think part of getting older may be because my dad's much more chilled out than he used to be. Mellow. I think it's for men, don't they say, oh, men mellow with age? So maybe I think maybe all people can, Doesn't mean all people do, because I've met plenty of elderly people. I guess I'm talking 80 plus, 70s, 80s. And I know I'm not that far off that now, am I? But that are very angry a lot of the time. And just so... But then they might have been... Now they might be mellow compared to how they were. It's one of those... It's almost like the dog can hear me. I was watching a comedy show earlier. What was I watching? It made me laugh though. It was something that made me laugh, which is good because it's a comedy show. I think it might have been George Carlin. Or maybe Jimmy Carr. I don't know. I think it might have been George Carlin. And I'm laughing at this thing that's on. No, it was Tyres. That's it, Tyres on Netflix. The new season's on. Just been released, so season 3. So I'm watching Tyres. And I'm laughing, but I got the window open. Because it's the hottest summer we've ever had. But yeah, got the window open because it's summer. And every time I laughed, and I'm like, it must be listening for me. And it wasn't even like a loud laugh. It's not like I'm laughing uncontrollably, but I'm laughing, just like, I know I make fun of people in the dating apps saying, I like to laugh, but we all do, don't we? Well, most of us. Laughing is... it's needed. It's not I don't think it comes under the word like. It comes under the word need. It's a requirement. It's up there, you've got breathing, heart pumping around your body working correctly, being safe, having enough food and water, having somewhere to live, laughing. It's an important thing. It's a healing thing. It's for your well-being. I would say. I might be wrong. It's just an opinion, not based on facts. Well, it is based on facts, but but it still is also an opinion. Because you know how I work. I thought you didn't work. You're unemployed, didn't you? And you... Shush. How I like to... if I read something, let's say, when I in 2003, let's say, for example, and I started reading, I really got into Buddhism again. So I was into it when I was in my early 20s, but I really got into it quite a much bigger way because I was going to the Buddhist centre, I was meditating, I was around other Buddhists, all of those things I'd never done before, which ironically I could have done because just up the road in Bethnal Green, because I lived in Stratford, Bethnal Green, there was a London Buddhist centre. I could have walked it. It was a long walk, but I could have walked it. So, it was a bus journey, or a short train journey. But back then, there was no internet. There was a Yellow Pages though. And I did know there was a Buddhist centre in London because I'd visited it when I was a kid. Part of my religious education classes. That's when I fell in love with Buddhism. Well, that's when I thought, I like this. Because for the first time, I realised that I was already doing that. I was already doing my own form of meditation. So I would lay on my bed in silence, sometimes with music, and just kind of empty my mind. Because I suppose I've been a thinker for my life. I've been a thinker, not an intellectual thinker, just a thinker. And I used to walk home from school, especially in junior school. It was a long walk. One of the last junior school I went to, I used to walk home, and it would take me, it was a good half-hour journey, but I'd sometimes take an hour and a half. And I didn't realise I was doing walking meditation. I was focusing on my feet. I was focusing on my body, on my breathing, on the air, on the smells, on the sounds. And it felt nice because the stress was leaving me. The uptightness, because I was quite a uptight kid, highly strung, probably you would say. And it helped. But I didn't do it for that reason, because I didn't know what I was doing. It just felt right to do that. In fact, I know maybe I mentioned this before, but I corrected an issue with my feet during this period, because I realised that my feet were curled inwards, or my toes rather were curled inwards when I was walking, and I didn't know why. I mean, they weren't always curled inwards the whole time, but for some reason when I was walking they would just be curled inwards. And I had to train myself to walk with my toes relaxed, and it felt really awkward. It was very, very uncomfortable. So I'd been walking with my toes curled inwards, maybe for years and years without realising it. I hadn't noticed it before. It's almost like a monkey. You know, monkeys can climb trees and their feet can curl, kind of like grip stuff. It was almost like that's what my feet were doing. I had monkey feet, basically. And I had to teach my toes, one by one. I had to actually focus on my toes being released, like being, I suppose, calm, relaxed, floppy. But it took ages because my toes were so stuck. I had to gradually relax them over time. So it took weeks and weeks and weeks, to the point where I was just walking normally, like my feet, my toes were just relaxed and walking normally. And occasionally, when I did feel uptight, my toes would go back to how they were. So I kind of realised that was why they were like that, because I wasn't feeling as relaxed as perhaps I needed to. So I was, what was I, 9 or 10 years old at that point. It's weird because it's one of those memories that I don't really think about very often. Only when I hear a dog bark. Isn't there a movie where someone presses a button and the dog just stops barking? It's still barking, but you can't hear it. On one of those gadgets. I know that dogs have different hearing. See? Do you think that his hearing's so good he can hear me talk? wow. Because literally I'll be in it, even with the window on the latch, so there's air coming in, but it's still pretty much just closed. I'll do something and he'll bark. I'd just put a cup down on the table and he'll bark. It's like he can hear what I'm doing. Or is that paranoia? Do you realise if that dog had been there in 2018, I would have made a couple of these let me bore you to sleeps and then I would have stopped. I would have given up. So luckily, for the first 10 years of living here, I didn't have that. And yeah, I wouldn't now have... How many let me bore you to sleeps have I done now? I do have a question for those listening. Done 1,663. So I would at the most have 3 done, because I wouldn't have continued with that. Something that I noticed lately, the last few days, is, okay, I don't want to talk about the stats. I know people don't like to hear about the stats, but I am going to talk about the stats. For some reason, I don't know if it's an error with my website host, but today, for example, I've got 768 downloads in Jacksonville Beach, Florida, United States. 756 downloads. Now I know that there's no way in the world you can listen to 756 recordings in a day. I mean, bearing in mind that so many of my recordings are 10 hours long, which means you could only listen to 2 a day. So 756. The United Kingdom, I have a recurring thing. Leeds, 590 downloads. So if you're in Leeds, or if you're in, what did I say, Dacona Beach, did I say? I don't remember now. I have to go back to it. Florida anyway, I remember that bit. Florida. Oh, Jacksonville Beach. Can you please contact me and let me know what's going on? Because this is just, either you're not downloading all them and the stats are just incorrect, and instead of, let's say for England, for example, for the UK, instead of nearly all the recordings just being downloaded from Leeds, maybe it's a lot more from other places. They've just, for some reason, the geolocation thing that they use is incorrect. But if you are in Leeds or in Florida in America, downloading all those recordings, maybe be interested to know what's going on, because I'm confused. It'd just be nice to know if just see if it's an error on the app or not, because I've had a few. They do make errors sometimes. I mean, I had one where I was getting Vietnam, and I was getting thousands of downloads in Vietnam, and made no sense. and then it stopped, like out of the blue, just stopped. That's really strange. Oh, that's not strange, that's why I had my blood test. I just found like a big red mark on my right arm, and that was my blood test done. I realised when I was younger, I didn't care about any medical things, really, generally. Like, if I saw a mark on my arms, I wouldn't go, what's that? Like, oh, it's a mark. As I got older, I'm a bit more, I notice things a bit more with stuff like that. So even with the different podcasts, or the different apps, Apple Podcasts at the top again, but Overcast is pretty much just underneath it. Podcast Addicts, generic Android app, and then my website. Spotify. I think it's the SoundCloud ones that are on Spotify, so that's a different. I wish they weren't, because then I could get rid of Spotify. Not Spotify, SoundCloud rather. I wish I could get rid of both of those podcasts, because that's 20 quid a month that feels like it's being wasted, but they're connected to SoundCloud. Not SoundCloud, Spotify. Get it right in a minute. For some reason, the Spreaker podcasts are not connected to Spotify. It's like it doesn't like Spreaker, or doesn't. I don't know what's going on, but it does like SoundCloud. So I'm not 100% sure why. Audible, Podbean, blimey. Yeah, I'm just wondering, because if I go for the last 30 days, right, if I go to geolocation for the last 30 days, United Kingdom, are you ready for this? Leeds, this is just the last 30 days, 4,867. 38% of the United Kingdom downloads comes from Leeds. I mean, it would be impossible to listen to that many recordings. In fact, I think you'd struggle to do that in a year, never mind in a month. In fact, you couldn't do it in a year, I don't think. Could you? I don't know. And the most you could listen to, if it's a Let Me Bore You to Sleep, you could listen to, because you're not going to be listening, but I suppose you could listen to them when you're asleep. So let's say 24 recordings a day. So if you was to listen to, Hypnosis 1/2 an hour, so that's 48 a day. 48 times by, so it's 480, 10 days, and times that by 3. So let's say 480, so 500, 1,500. So 1,500 recordings is pretty much the most you can listen to if you listened in a month. 24 hours a day, and each recording lasted half an hour. That was just a guess. I think I'm right, but it was a guesswork. So it's physically impossible to listen to 4,867 downloads. So if you are in Leeds, it'd be really interesting to hear whether or not it is one person. And if not, then I think Spreaker is messing up somehow. It's messing up. And in America, which is even more, Florida, Jacksonville Beach, 17,101. again, it's impossible to listen to that many recordings, so in a month. Should we go for the year? I like to do this, I don't know why. The last 12 months. See, Santa Ana, 12,580. Mountain View, 772. So that's over a year. Different ones. Huntington Beach. What was the one that I was looking at? Was it Huntington Beach? That doesn't make sense, does it? Because didn't it just say 17,000 for the month? The last month, Florida. Jacksonville Beach was 10,000. Okay. Current month, Jackson's and Beach, over 6,000. So that's 10,000, 17,000. The last 12 months, Jackson Beach isn't even coming up at all. Oh no, I got California, sorry. Yeah, 17,102. Blimey. What about UK? UK, Japan, huh? Leeds, 8,102 in the last 12 months. She's louder than a dog, isn't she? So now she's just shouting his name out even though he's not barking. She's using the phone. She's on the phone. Why? You don't need to be on the phone. Just aim your mouth towards where the person might be. London, Birmingham, Hull, Newcastle upon Tyne. So yeah, if there's anybody that is in Leeds that's listening or downloading, I don't know how would you download that many or listen to that many recordings? But if you do, then could you let me know? So I'd be interested to hear from you. Just maybe go to my website and say, hey, it's me. I'm the one. It would be interesting. I just want to find out if it's an error on Spreaker, because I think it might be. And if it is an error, then I need to contact them and say, look, you know, I don't expect exact stats, because they might have Birmingham, Newcastle, York, Doncaster. It's not necessarily going to be precise, but just roughly will do. I'll accept roughly. I'm happy with roughly. So today I've done, well, apart from this, I've done nothing. Literally, I've uploaded about 30 podcasts up to TurboScribe to transcribe for me. So I'm now up to 1,220, which shows you I've got a lot left to do. So it's 400 plus. So it's going to take me a long time to get that done. But that's all part of my process of, writing a book. The problem is, the book is going to... it's going to be very long, based on what I've done so far is based on, is it 350? Let's have a little look. Let's have a look. Okay. Yeah, I think it was based on 350 recorded. No, 350. And out of that, I had, what did I have? I think it was 17 pages of basically, was it 17? No, 24. So there's 24 pages, basically like it's a book master index. So Let Me Bore You to Sleep, episodes 1 to 350. And I've got another 1,300 plus to add to that. So just the basic summary is 24 pages. So when I've got it all together, the basic summary is probably going to be about, based on that, another 3, 6, 9, 12. 3, 6, 9, 12, 13, 15. Another 5 or 6 times that. So that's 25, 50, 150, it's probably between 150 and 200 pages. And I'm saying that because as I've gone through the years, the recordings have become fairly longer, generally. Not all the time, but there's been some really long ones. So just the basic description, the basic summary will be anything up to 200 pages long. And that's without really expanding on any of the subjects. So it's going to be a task. It really is. Oh yes. Yeah, it is. I mean, maybe I won't do it. I mean, I want to do it, but I know, because I'm limited with, it takes, because so I'll just show you, on ChatGPT, I'm on the Plus, so it costs me, what does it cost me? Is it 25 quid a month, something like that? And with the VAT. So you got two choices, you got chat or you got work. With the work, I am not allowed to do anything on work again until the 22nd of August. I've used up all my credits for work, but that did go through 350 pages of scripts, so I got quite a lot out of that. But it does mean that technically I'm going to be, what's the month now? It's August, September, October, November, December, January. It's probably going to be January before I've done the very basics for all the transcripts. Just like the basic, like put it in and started looking. Then the hard work starts, to start compiling and comparing and, finding every time I talked about the chip shop, for example, or the violin, or karate, or cooking lessons, or whatever it might be, getting my hair bleached, going to France, going to Spain for the afternoon, working in the pub, the really dodgy pub, or my comedy adventures, sort of going to Bulgaria, working in an insurance company, the 3 different insurance companies I worked at, working in the 2 bakeries I worked at, one as a kid and then one as an adult. The one as an adult was huge bakery, massive thing. All the various catering and kind of jobs I had, all the different places I've lived, all the different rooms I've moved into, all the different kind of relationships I've attempted or been in that didn't last. Buddhism, that's another one. My interest in Buddhism, my love for boxing, different martial arts I've played around with, different clothes I've worn, pets I've had, friends I've had. Yeah. Haircuts I've had. I mean, technically, I could write a book about working in a chip shop. I could write a book about my time in comedy. I could write a book about working in insurance. I could write a book about working in the meter factory, because I worked there 3 different times. I could probably write a book about working at Butlins. Probably wouldn't be a very big book, but I was only there for, was it 4 or 5 weeks? But I was thinking, I just had this idea now, and it's probably not an original idea, because I think I've thought about it before. Why write a whole book of my whole life? Because that's such a huge task. Especially, well, first of all, I'm not famous, so no one's really going to be reading it. It's not like I'm getting paid huge amounts of money to write about my life and people are going to be interested in the whole thing, That's not going to happen. So, I mean, some people might be interested, I don't know, but, generally, I mean, it's not like it's going to be like, it's just so much work, that's what I'm saying. And I don't know if I would even sit through reading that much, because we're talking, even if I just stuck to the facts, which would be incredibly boring if I didn't add my own voice to it, outside of the voice from the podcast. I could do a lot of it verbatim, so it's just me talking and just cut and paste, sort of just so it's me, because it is still my voice, because that's what I said at the time. But it's going to be huge book with potentially thousands of pages. If I'm going to cover the whole 55 years of my life, just the childhood bit is a big book. So, I don't know. If I just talked about mental health issues, that's a book on its own. So maybe what I could do is, because this is all part of the Let Me Bore You to Sleep. So the idea I want them to be funny. I want them to have some humour in them. But at the same time, if you listen to me and you read the books, you're going to be hearing my voice read the book out loud to you, in a sense, because you know what my voice sounds like. So the more often you hear my voice, the more likely that when you read the words, it will be my voice in your head reading them, which means you're going to get very relaxed, and providing, you know, you're in bed and it's safe, you may fall asleep. The problem is, with the book, I can't put only read when you can safely close your eyes, for obvious reasons. Maybe that should be the title, only read this when you can safely close your eyes. Wow, that is good, isn't it? Only read this when you can safely close your eyes. What a great idea. That's got me excited, that is. I like that. Although I'll probably forget the idea once I finish this recording. And the weird thing about it is I've missed out so much information to tell you about. I don't know what. Oh yeah, I went to the doctor's yesterday, and I've not even mentioned it. Didn't mention it yesterday, haven't mentioned it today. Well, I've mentioned it, but without actually going into details. And there's a whole bunch of stuff that happened. I guess I'll just have to tell you tomorrow, because I need to take the Vinster out soon, because he hasn't been out since 9 o'clock. It's now 5:30. It's a long time. He's not drinking a lot of water, which I don't understand. When he does drink water, he drinks a lot at one time, and if he thinks we're going out, he will just suddenly start drinking loads. So he's got plenty of wee-wee to spread. So I could do small books. Just call it chip shop, meter factory, bakery. Just give them a name like that, and just talk about what it was like working at those places and what was going on in my life at the time, where I lived, my lifestyle, about my landlady or landlord, the journey to and back, you know, from work, the financial situation. Yeah, could be interesting, or be really boring. That's the thing. If it's like, which will be part of the Let Me Bore You to Sleep franchise, ooh, then if it's interesting, good, and if it's boring, good. So I can't lose. The people say if people say I was really crap, then that's different, but if they say I was really boring, then I've done my job. But if they say, oh, I was really interested, I enjoyed that, that's good also, because, well, it just feel nice to think people had enjoyed something that I'd created. So small books. So what I could do, again, it won't be till I've conglomerated, I don't know if that's the right word, all of the podcasts, episodes together, transcribed, and then just scraped out everything I've ever mentioned about the chip shop, for example, and then I can start writing it. Or maybe what I'll do is I'll do a podcast episode just about the chip shop, which would be a very, very long recording, but I will have a list of reminders of stuff that's happened, and just to kind of a trigger for me to mention that thing and see if it opens up, if there's any more stuff that kind of I remember. In fact, maybe I wouldn't publish them, I'd just make the recording, maybe make another recording and see how many recordings I can make based on the chip shop alone. Because I was there for 2 years. A lot happened. That was an important part of my life. So perhaps I can just go through that, see how many podcasts I can come up with, and then go through those and have those read and, you know, turned into another directory list of things, and yeah, and just do that a few times until I've got something that, because I need it to be in my voice. And I don't want to talk about myself. I want to talk like as a character. Although if I did, I could get away with a lot more stuff. I could be a bit more honest. Because as a character, you can make the character do things that, well, the character is not going to get judged. But I will be judged if it's me. So I'll have to leave out some of the juicy stuff. Not that there's much juicy stuff, to be honest. So yeah, I'm thinking about that. That would be... It's just got me thinking, maybe short books, all based on helping you to sleep. And for me, I'd quite like to publish them. I know, you know, putting them as an ebook would be the first action, because then it wouldn't, well, it would be minimal cost. If I start, because I want to give them away to, especially people on my group, the Jason Newland's boring group on Facebook. I'd want to just give them away for people to read. You know, I'm not bothered about charging money or making any money out of it. It'd be also really be cool to, at the very least, publish like a physical copy of each book for me, just so I can have it, you know, have it on my shelf. It's like, I'm an author. Look at all those 500 different books. So what do they talk about? Not much. Not much. Can I borrow one and read it? No, you won't want to read it. But why would you write a book that no one wants to read? I said, I don't know, ego probably, but yeah, I'd advise not reading it. You won't be useful. So why did you write them then? I don't know. It seemed like a good idea at the time. Yeah, I don't know how, because when I'm thinking of the short book, I'm thinking of something maybe 80 pages. You know, not quite short, with maybe 5 chapters or whatever, or maybe one to 2, 3 pages per chapter. So maybe, you know, I don't know how many chapters that would be. So start off, like if it was a chip shop, the day that I applied for the job was, I just got my glasses and I was walking out around with my glasses on for the first time ever. And my dad had just had a little chat with me in the garden about what was I going to do when I left school, because I was coming up to leaving school and I'd never thought about it before. And he said, well, you better think about it. So I decided I'll prove him, and I went and got a job that day, that afternoon. I suppose just to shut him up, or to prove that I could do it. But, it wasn't really a major successful, wow. The dog doesn't normally go, I mean, this is particularly continuous. I mean, it does do this sometimes, but it hasn't shut up pretty much the whole time we've been doing this recording. I don't know if it was the dog over the fence. It might have been a dog further up. They both sound the same to me. Is that racist? I don't know. Honestly, they sound very similar. Back to my eyesight. That's bugged me. I'm going to go into ChatGPT. Right, I'm in there, but I'm going to do a new chat. In chat, not work. I'm going to ask saw opticians, said I have lazy eye, it's not wonky, but I am unable to read with it, as all the words and letters mixed together. Let's see what it says. Yes, that description can fit very well with a lazy eye amblyopia, even if the eye looks perfectly straight. Lazy eye is a slightly misleading name. It doesn't necessarily mean the eye turns in or out. That's what I always thought it meant. An eye that visibly turns is called strabismus squint, whereas amblyopia. Where did they get these names from? Strabismus squint or amblyopia means the brain hasn't developed normal quality vision using that eye. I sometimes wonder, what's my brain got against me? All these things, these brain things, it's like, so the brain didn't develop for me to have proper vision in my left eye. I got bipolar, which pretty much I inherited, I guess, from my mum. All me and, well, yeah, a lot of my family have this stuff, but I'm pretty slow mentally, because I think there's a difference between being slow and being stupid. I don't know what it is. I'm stupid. I don't. Sometimes my brain works really, really fast, but I'm kind of on medication to stop that. And sometimes it works really, really slow. and I'm on medication to stop that as well. Like, there's been times when my brain just didn't work. I just kind of shut down. It's happened a lot of times over the years, but it's like I can't function. It happened in my last insurance job. I was sitting there, and all I wanted to do was get onto the desk and go to sleep. I just couldn't do it. Couldn't function at all. Weird. I mean, probably the best thing I did was I did push on. I'm not a quitter. I'm not an easy quitter when it comes to stuff like that. And I carried on for months and months and months. And I was walking to work, and every time it was like, oh. And one day I got outside the office, the building, and I thought, no. It's like, it took me a while to get to the point where I thought, I don't have to do this. I don't have to put myself through this. And this is not leading anywhere good. So I turned and I walked home. And I made an appointment with the doctor, and everything from there kind of led to, guess, where I am now. But if I hadn't done that, I'm not quite sure where I'd be, because I just couldn't do it. I couldn't walk into that building. Physically, my legs wouldn't move for me to go in there. And I knew all I had to do was walk in, and not that I'd be okay, but I would manage, I'd get through another day. But my legs wouldn't allow it. And I got home and I pretty much just collapsed on the bed, and just the relief of not being in there, the relief of like almost listening to myself, listening to my body, listening to what every atom of me was kind of shouting out, eventually, and also having a perspective. Are you enjoying that, Vinny? He's making a right meal of it. I'm not going to tell you what he's doing, but there's no roll, just a sausage. Blimey. Yeah. What was I talking about that? I don't know. I was talking about my eyes. When you describe individual, the words seem to mix together, overlap, move, or become impossible to separate when you use that eye alone. It could happen that the eye has significantly poorer visual processing. Glasses may make image sharper, but doesn't necessarily make the brain interpret the letters normally. Glasses make no difference. They'll make it sharper, but yeah, it doesn't change it. One useful distinction is whether you have had this problem with that eye, or whether the mixing motion letters is new or noticeably worse. If it's long-standing, that fits much better with your optician's explanation. If it's recently appeared or deteriorating, I'd tell your optician GP specifically that the letters move or mix together, because it might need new, need to be looked at. I was diagnosed, well, not diagnosed, but do opticians diagnose you? I mean, I've got cataracts, I know that now. That's new. Well, from last time I had an eye test, which was 2022, I think. 21, 22. So I have, I was told by the optician when I was 15 that I had a wonky eye, a lazy eye rather, not a wonky eye, a lazy eye. And I had to do exercises to strengthen it. But the optician then never mentioned. The thing is, my memory isn't that clear about the optician's session. But he was the only optician ever to say that I had a lazy eye until this latest optician a few months ago, and I've had my eyes tested on numerous occasions every few years, but no one's ever noticed it. So I must have had it all that time, and for some reason I've been able to I got used to it. I think that's what it was. I got used to it. It's just this time, it's something about, I noticed that I'm thinking, that's weird. Is that supposed to happen? And she said no. And I said, oh, how come? She said, well, I'm a part-time magician. I said, what? And she said, well, yeah, that's how I'm able to make the pigeon appear out of the hat. I said, oh. Because she was doing a magic trick. I didn't realise. I mean, she just pulled out this hat and suddenly this pigeon appeared. And I said, is that supposed to happen in an optician's, examination? And she said, not generally, but I've got this charity gig coming up. And I figured that if we're raising money for, an important charity, that people wouldn't mind. I said, okay. So what about my eye? She said, your eye? I said, yeah, my eye, the lazy eye. She said, you need to give it a good kick up the bum. And she laughed hysterically, like, it's not lazy, but anyway, apparently, I had it since I was 14. I was given exercises. I even had not a mask, an eye patch. I had to wear an eye patch on my right eye when I was at home and read, watch television, do everything with my left eye. And at the time, when I was 15, I was told I needed to wear glasses all the time. Now, after probably less than a week, those glasses were removed from my face by myself, never to be put on again. So that was 1986. And I stopped doing the exercises, stopped doing the thing with the pencil, like following my left, to try and get the left eye to strengthen the muscles and all that stuff. I jacked that in. And then the next time I went to the opticians, he said I just needed reading glasses, and that was it. And that's all I had until 2012. I think about 2012 I started wearing glasses full time. It was my new job, wearing glasses. So it's only been the last 14 years. Before that, I used to just wear glasses for reading. It's just very strange. Whenever I read, I don't know. It's a weird thing. It fascinates me. That's all. It just fascinates me. I mean, if it happened to my right eye, then I would be down to the doctors, I'd be like, well, there's something's going on here, but because it's just one eye, and because I'd already been told I had a lazy eye when I was a teenager, and I didn't do the exercises, and I stopped wearing glasses because I was too busy trying to get with the honeys. I never talked like that. Wow. Getting with the babes, attracting my sweetheart. People made fun of me at school. That's what it was. I walked into school with glasses for the first time with a lot of kids that I'd been 2 years in junior school, and then I was in the 5th year of high school. So what's that, like nearly 7 years I'd been with these kids. Never seen me with glasses before. Suddenly I'm there wearing glasses, and a lot of them found it funny. I didn't find it funny. But didn't you like the attention? No. So that was it. So yeah, that's my eye. Still didn't get round to telling you about the doctor's appointment, but I'll try and remember that tomorrow. So I'm going to go. Thank you for listening. And I don't even know if there's any boxing on tonight. I'm not sure. But it is nearly 6 o'clock and I've got to take the little monkey out. So thank you for listening. Remember to be kind to yourself, because you do deserve to be happy. Be gentle with yourself. You deserve to feel safe. Lots of love. Bye.